Mankind's unending desire to improve itself isn't something that can be stopped. Recently, I've been watching a lot of anime, like more than usual, specifically 20 different shows I've been keeping up with, excluding the One Piece anime that I occasionally go back to see my favorite manga panels animated. There are a lot of anime airing right now, and no matter if I'm booting up Crunchyroll, Netflix, or 9 more Crunchyroll. More Crunchyroll. I can never escape the fantasy genre, more specifically medieval fantasy. It's not even my favorite genre of anime, but something about it gets me clicking every time. The problem is, 90% of medieval anime fantasy is absolute garbage. The isekai slop that is reduced, reused, and recycled that may have a slightly different gimmick, but nowadays, not even that. At this point, they stop giving us the bare minimum we need to tell these shows apart because they know fans are gonna click it anyway. I say this with full confidence. The medieval fantasy genre is the worst genre in all of anime. This is one of the main reasons shows like Frieren, Dungeon Meshi, and Witch Hat Atelier are so well received because they not only gave us great fantasy stories, but a great story in general. And as much as these three are spearheading the return of good anime fantasy that's not isekai, they don't make up the entire 10% of good anime fantasy titles. And I want to acknowledge a show that hasn't gotten nearly enough love from the community. A show that fans of manga like Berserk need to check out immediately. A show that returns anime to its roots of dark fantasy. Yeah, you like that? Yeah, me too. And you can get more of that on Patreon for free. Yes, free. You can get a bunch of behind the scenes videos like bloopers, and just for $3 a month, you can get videos like this early and uncensored. This video is sponsored by me, so thank you, me, for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and now, back to anime. Clevatess stood out to me for one reason and one reason only. Its stellar use of world building and how said world changing impacts every single character you see, as we quite literally rediscover what made the fantasy genre so popular in the first place. In the continent of Ethia, humanity is surrounded by black, unknown land in every direction, on some Hunter x Hunter Dark Continent stuff. The only thing that is known is that in each direction, north, south, east, and west, lives a terrifying dark beast ruler and their minions that will kill you without a second thought if you even step foot on their land. But that doesn't stop Alicia Glenfall, as she dreams of discovering a new potential for humanity and sets out into the unknown, becoming one of the 13 mighty heroes to challenge one of the demon kings, Clevatess. With their training complete, allies by their side, their one-of-a-kind weapons, and the hope of all of humanity on their backs, they... Hold on, I'm thinking the power of friendship is going to come in and snap his limbs back into place. Okay, but we still have our MC. She's way more skilled than her peers, figuring out how the beast's powers work, and she's the only one able to scratch him. Then she dies. Is someone pulling on the string here? Gimme this. But humanity isn't the only characters in this anime. Clevatess, the beast himself and the title character of the entire anime, ponders why this is happening in the first place. How is humanity strong enough to scratch him? Why do they seek to expand? Why do they strive to break the natural order of things? Why change? He goes to the King of Heroes to axe himself, but long story short, they fail to come to an understanding. Clevatess destroys the entire kingdom, finds a surviving royal baby, cute little Luna, and agrees to raise the child as a test of humanity's survival. If the child becomes a good king, he will leave humanity alone, controlling them from the shadows. But if not, then he will kill them all. Who's a good baby? You're a good baby. Please be a good baby so the giant monster doesn't rip us to shreds. And he revives Alicia, the only human who was able to harm him, as their guide. Oh, no. He then discovers that there are different countries within this world, each with its own political agenda and special traits, as we embark on a secret adventure to make this baby reclaim its throne and save humanity from the wrath of the strongest demon in the world. I know that synopsis was longer than what I usually do, but it was necessary for you to understand how vast this tiny world is, because all of what I just gave you is just in the first episode. What I love about this story is that the hero and one of the main villains are a part of the same party. Alicia travels the world now, trying to reclaim her reasoning for all of this in the first place. Now that she has a taste of the immense power gap between her and her dream, is it worth it? Was all of this worth the lives of the other heroes? What did they actually accomplish for humanity? And more pressing of them all, how did the other countries react to them poking the beast? This is where world building really takes the story to the next level, because you find out that humanity had just discovered magic to use against the Dark Beast, and countries like Borhat want to rule over all of humanity before fighting the Dark Beast. Other countries like Estlin want to work together to help benefit humanity. Bandit troops like the Ravens are only in the conflict for the moolah, and others just want to stay out of the conflict altogether. For now. Season 2 has been announced. This clash of ideals and worldview leads Alicia to clash with humanity more than the Dark Beast. Alicia's story is more than what it means to be a hero. It's a race against time, because the more they fight each other, the more the beast sitting right next to them believes they are beyond saving. Did anyone that watched the show notice that the camera of the anime being placed in weird places? I mean, as a certified gooner myself, I'm not complaining. After all, Alicia is my type. The kind of woman that can kick my... And it's not that Alicia is against killing her fellow men or anything like that. This is still a dark fantasy. The girl is not that morally high. After all, before the start of the story, she already had her fair share of human enemies. It is more that she needs to show her fellow men and Clevatess the value in humanity changing. The good that can be born from striving to learn more outside of your comfort zone. That the natural order that Clevatess's entire ideology is formed around is that there is no natural order, because evolution is not only inevitable, it's necessary. It's like we're watching the birth of adventure. You know, the thematic messaging that drives most fantasy stories being created in real time. Clevatess, the show, builds its world by literally building its world. Half of the stuff that is new to us is also new to the characters. Beast that can take human form, the concept of magic, and even the journey of the hero's adventure. There you go. Thank you. But in order for something to be different, a change must have occurred, breaking the mold of what people consider the norm. And this is exactly why Clevatess himself is the perfect antagonist for this series. Clevatess, who goes by Klen in his human form, and I will now be calling him that for the rest of the video, he is a very OP character. It's stated and shown that the only people in this world who can take him on in a head-to-head fight are the other 3 Dark Beast Lords. Humanity never stood a chance, but when you reach the top level of strength in your world, you're left with nothing but time. Time to ponder why those underneath do the things they do. Time to become a good dad. Gene Freaks could never. My man's Klen is the father that stepped up. Ignore the fact that he destroyed Luna's home, murdered a ton of his people, and assumed the body of the original caretaker, whom he also caused the death of. All that matters is that Luna is safe. I think. For being a very old demon, Klen has a very stagnant view of the world, that being to work within your means. He is a very territorial person, which is why he's so confused about Alicia's desire to expand humanity's range and knowledge. To Klen and the rest of the Dark Beast, humanity is stepping in a place they do not belong. You could say he is very much anti-world building. The opposite of Alicia. He has never had any interest in learning about the humans. He thinks people should accept their limitations, and he has no interest in change. He's not stopping humanity from expanding because he hates them. He's stopping them because he's comfortable where he is. And unfortunately for everyone involved, he puts his comfort over their lives. That is, until change hits him like Truck-kun eyeing the next isekai protagonist. Ironic analogy there, considering the fact that this is an anti-isekai video, but you get it. Many people who have already seen the show may say that Luna is the catalyst to bringing more nuance into Klen's ideology. And while cute little Luna is adorable in holding this operation together, he's not the one that sparked the flame. Ooh, that sounded so educational. Anyway, for as quick as a moment as it was, Alicia managing to harm Klen in their fight was truly the moment that set this story in motion. Klen would have never gone to the kingdom if not for the brief second RMC showed him the potential of humanity's evolution. It is this dynamic and opposing worldview that makes this show so interesting to watch. Alicia is the one telling Klen what's new and upcoming, and Klen is the one telling her what was and should be. The building of a new world versus establishing one that was already here. It's such an interesting way to get us, the audience, introduced into the world of Clevatess, because it's basically an old versus new perspective, with the fate of the world resting on the possibility that the new perspective is worth something. And it is Alicia who is ironically getting the exact person who hates change to give her the power to change the world around them everywhere they go. I think this goes without saying due to the title of the genre, dark fantasy, but Clevatess is not for the faint of heart. as the show has a bunch of mature themes and scenes that YouTube definitely won't let me talk about. But it's mature for a reason. Given the trailer and the several clips you see on Crunchyroll's YouTube channel, you think this is just another shock value edgelord anime, and I wouldn't blame you. I did too. But trust me when I say the show is surprisingly refreshing. The concept is instantly captivating, and the characters bounce off each other perfectly, and it feels like season 1 is just the start of a very epic fantasy tale. If you're like me and you're drawn to medieval fantasy stories and you've been hungry for a good one since Dungeon Meshi Season 1 ended, no need to wait for Frieren Season 2 this January. Trust and believe Clevatess will hold you over because it's an underrated gem that deserves your attention. So watch it! If you like this video, then hit that subscribe, like, and hype button and comment your thoughts on Clevatess below. Thank you so much to our patrons for the support and follow us on socials because we stream. As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching. I'm RJ Lane, and this has been On the Rise.